Well, we're here today with brand new Philadelphia 76er, just fresh off being drafted last night. Isaiah Joe, the son of Arkansas, Fort Smith native, and Isaiah been with the Hogs the last few years, the top 3-point shooter in the SEC. But just in your words, Isaiah, now that you're having a little bit of time to reflect on it, talk about the feeling about being drafted and being drafted by the Sixers.
Oh man, it's just a blessing to have this opportunity. There's a lot of people that play this game of basketball that don't get the same opportunity. So I'm just truly blessed to have the people around me that helped me get to this point. I put all praise in God. And in the 76ers, man, that's a tremendous franchise, a great staff, great players, and I'm looking forward to playing with each and every one of them. I think we're gonna have a great team, and we got some good rookies going up there. So I'm really excited. I'm ready for the next step.
You're one of two players that were drafted by Philadelphia for the Sixers to keep last night. Another SEC player, Tyrese Maxey from Kentucky. You matched up with him, but talk about it. Have you guys had a chance to connect yet? Have you had any words with Mr. Maxey?
Yeah, so we've been DMing each other. We shot each other's numbers, so we're definitely gonna be staying in touch a lot. He's a great guy. I mean, he's a great basketball player, but I think he's an even better guy. We've been on a couple of Zoom meetings together thus far with the staff and things like that. We had some media interviews and things. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting up there with him. I got a chance to play with him at home when we played Kentucky. He's definitely heck of a player, so I'm looking forward to it.
Last night, I noticed you had once you were picked, there was something you had some requirement. It looked like you were doing an interview or something, and then Doc Rivers, the new head coach with Philadelphia, wanted to talk to you. He was calling in on another line, and he ended up interrupting whatever you were doing. He took the call. It looked like a moment of fun. Describe that situation a little bit. What were you doing, and did that surprise you?
No, that was definitely cool. I was in a media interview right after I got drafted, and then my agent Mike Conley Jr. bought his phone in, and Doc Rivers was on the phone with the GM Elton Brand, and so they were like, come on man, get off the phone. Like they knew I was in a media interview. They were like, get off the phone, talk to us. And so Doc he's a great guy. He's a great coach. I think they made a good decision in choosing him, and I'm looking forward to playing for him. Him making that call just was real heartwarming. It's like it feels like they're gonna welcome me with open arms. You know, and they definitely took a bet on me and drafted me. So I'm really blessed in that, and I'm gonna make the most of it.
I think for fans of NBA teams, fans of players that played at their favorite college school, draft night's nerve wracking for them. We can't imagine what it's like for the player, his family, his agent to sit through the draft night and go through that experience. Just talk about some of the ups and downs or some of the feelings and some of that experience.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of emotions in there, and I was nervous, excited, a little bit of everything. Especially in the draft, you don't really not everything's not for certain, especially when it gets like the second round and things like that. You got teams talking to you, but you never really know. So it's like it's really good to hear your name and just to hear my name at 49. It's just a blessing. I'm not really one of those guys that's big into where I'm picked at. I'm more so happy that the team that I'm picked at, which is going to be a great fit for my game. I think it's going to help complement other players as well. But it's definitely nerve wracking, like you said. But I think it's even more exciting just to know that you got a future ahead of you playing the game that you love.
You had good people all around you last night, but now that you move on to the professional level, we talked about Tyrese Maxey. We saw the Sixers use a couple of picks to get some veterans, Danny Green and Seth Curry. We know what the Sixers, one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. You look at Joel Embiid, you look at the Ben Simmons and what those guys do, but those are inside the art guys. Do you see yourself and your game as being able to help them and explain that?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, I feel like my ability to stretch the floor will help my game and their game tremendously. Just I'll be out there occupying a defender a lot of the times for Ben to get driving lanes, whether he's getting to the hole, whether he's dishing, and it gives Joel a lot of space to work in the paint and in the mid range game. So I think our games are really gonna complement each other. I like Ben because he's a willing and very capable passer. So that's definitely a franchise that I'm looking forward to playing for.
Now I know. Now here's something I got to ask you. Is I brought up Seth Curry. We all know his brother Steph Curry. You took the Steph Curry challenge, and I think, if I remember correctly, you actually did it in a better time than the inventor of that drill. Do you look forward to maybe getting to know the Currys and getting in and because you're a shooter and that's what those guys are. What has there been any talk about that or excitement level for you looking forward to that?
I'm definitely excited to play with a guy like Seth. He's a tremendous talent. He can shoot the ball very well. I'm glad you brought that up because I actually forgot about that. I did that in high school, my senior year. So I don't think a lot of people got to see that, but yeah, that was pretty cool. But definitely looking forward to playing with Seth. He's a great shooter. I really want to pick his brain on a lot of things. He's been in the league for a while, so I think he's got a lot of veteran status under his belt. So definitely pick his brain. There's gonna be some shooting competitions. I can foresee that.
Right, that's where I was going with that. You may not want to talk much about what you did as a senior as a rookie. You might let that breathe a little bit and then rub it in later, right?
Right. That has nothing. I mean, that carries no weight right now. This is a whole new journey. It's like starting over from ground zero. So this is I like it because it's like a new foundation. I'm creating a better Isaiah. At the end of the day, I just want to be the best version of me, and I think this is a great platform to start at.
When you look at your process, when you hire an agent, Mike Conley Sr., here's a guy that's got experience with guys getting them to helping them to the NBA, including his son, Mike Conley Jr. There's so many Arkansas ties because of Mike being a track and field legend here in the state with the Razorbacks, gold medalist, and then his son, one of the top players in the NBA over the last, more than a decade. And you got to work out with him in the past week leading up to this draft. Talk a little bit about that and how that maybe has helped you these connections and getting on the floor with Mike Conley Jr.
Yeah, man, the whole Conley family, they're just amazing people. I think a lot of people know them for their athletic ability, what they do on the court, what they do on the track and in the field. So, but they're just besides that, they're amazing people. They're just great people to be around. They help me out in anything that I need. I think me spending a week with Mike Conley Jr. was just a cherry on top. We got some great work in. I got to pick his brain on a lot of things, and I just got to hang around him and his family just to see what their daily life is like. And it's definitely motivation to see somebody of that success. I think he's going on like his 15th season right now, so it's definitely a lot of people don't get that opportunity. So I'm definitely blessed to have it.
You came to Arkansas 2 years ago. Of course, everybody's dream pretty much at this level is to play at the next level. But I don't know that maybe you envisioned in 2 years you'd be going to the NBA and a newcomer at the same time as you, Mason Jones. Probably nobody saw that for him as well. The opportunity. Of course, we now know that he signed an undrafted free agent two-way contract with the Houston Rockets. But talk a little bit about the camaraderie and the connection there, and where you guys not only as teammates at Arkansas, but maybe that relationship going forward as pros.
Oh yeah, man. Me and Mason, man, we stay in contact every day. That's my guy. We always check in on each other. And we gave each other big congrats after last night. But we're those guys that we've always worked under the radar. So this is nothing new to us. But people like we've been opening our eyes since we've been playing basketball. I think that's something that we're going to continue to do at the next level. It's just now we're starting at a new ground level, and we got to work our way back up. But it's something to look forward to, and I'm really wishing Mason Jones the best on his career.
You know what? When you look at the draft, so many people get caught up in draft order and how things, change during the night. I think sometimes what gets lost is it's not necessarily where you go, but who you go to, who wants you, and what the situation is for you. Can you talk a little bit about that and how this works out for you and how you feel like you benefited from how it played out?
Yeah, so I mean, I think I have that same mindset when it comes to these type of things. It's not always about where you're like what position you're drafted at, but more so the team. And I feel like this team that I'm going to is going to be a great fit for me. They really stress the need for shooters, and I feel like they got a good one at the 49th pick in myself. So it's not always about where you picked at. Isaiah Thomas was picked 60. Tony Parker was picked 60, and they have very successful careers. And so this is definitely I mean, I see nothing less than that. It's not only that. I mean, you got people that come out of the G League and have amazing careers. So it's not about where you start. It's always about where you finish. I'm gonna stand on that.
You were the top shooter in the SEC their 2 years there, led the league in 3-point shooting and percentage as a rookie. Then last year, led the league in threes, even though you missed some time with an injury. But you do other things. You talked about that, especially defensively. and also the economized ball handling and dribbling to get into your shot. Talk about some of those nuances of your game outside of shooting that maybe people have not been able to pick up on or appreciate to this point.
Yeah, so ball handling is something that I really worked on a lot in the past. And as you notice that my ball handling, getting to my shots, has been very, very great the past season, and that's something I'm gonna continue to work on. So I definitely, people that don't know me, like I'm a capable ball handler, and I can handle the ball in pretty much any situation. And then my defense, I really take a lot of pride in my defense. That's something that every coach that I play for, that's something they take really, really great pride in. So I use my IQ, my length, and my lateral quickness. I'm willing to sacrifice my body to take a lot of charges, and I get a lot of deflections. And then I think my biggest thing is making sure I'm in the right spot when it comes to help side defense. Because I really feel like that's um that's the best way to stop teams.
Okay, so I've got another question. I know fans are going to know this. What's next for Isaiah Joe in terms of what are the next steps? When do you go to Philadelphia? When do things start picking up? When do you get with the team on the court? Things like that.
Yeah, so all we know right now is that we're probably going to report to the team. At least Philly, we're going to report to Philly after Thanksgiving. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be that weekend. And then once we get there, we got to hit the floor running because it's going to be a quick turnaround. As soon as we get there, we're straight into training camp. Then the season starts in December. So, things are going to get to moving really quickly. And I really feel like I really feel like I'm ready. I think I spent this whole off time preparing my body for the next level, getting in shape, make sure my game is tight. And so now it's just a matter of building that chemistry with the fellas, and I'm looking forward to that.
You brought up an interesting point about how fast things are going to move. COVID. I mean, this is a whole different process. So as someone who's followed the league and how things go, summer leagues and everything, a lot more opportunity to prepare really through July. Here we are in November, and the season starts next month. And the whole process was surreal. How you had to do your combine, doing interviews with Zoom, not being able to travel. When you kind of look back on all of it and where you're at now, kind of give me some of your takeaways on this experience.
Yeah, I mean it's been a different experience, but a good one nonetheless. It's unfortunate that we're in COVID times, which limited us to only Zoom meetings with teams. But the Zoom meetings, you learn a lot of good information. Teams get to know you as a person. I really feel like that's real good. It'd be better to see them in person, but there's no excuses with that. But I look at it positively though. Like this off time, it's giving me a lot of time to work on my body, to work on my game, and so I think it just, it helps you prepare even more. So there's no excuses when it does come time. So now that there's a quick turnaround, you're already prepared.
Okay, another question for you here.
All right.
How do you envision yourself? Let's say it's your first game in an NBA game, that first bucket. How do you want that to go down? I know any way you can get it's probably going to be your answer, but if you could call it, what kind of play would you want your first bucket to be?
Oh man, that's a good one. I don't know. A lot of people, I think it'd be real cool if my first bucket could be a three, since a lot of people they see me as the shooter that Philadelphia needs. And so maybe if the players ran and my first bucket is just a dagger, I mean that'd be a good one. But like you said, I just love to get a bucket anyway. Or not even that, just whatever I can do to help the team win. That's the type of player I am. I want to do whatever it takes to help the team win. If my first big play is a defensive play, hey, so be it. You know, that's how I look at it. But if I can get a three, that'd be good. Just
So
get the
I know
season
you
started
like to
right.
play golf. Go ahead.
No, I'm finished. You got it.
I know you like to play golf. I think we put out some highlights of you out on the course. So have you had a chance yet to Google up golf courses in the area up there? Have you been thinking about that at all?
No, I've been thinking about it, but I haven't looked up any courses though. But Doc Rivers is a golfer himself, so I'm pretty sure he can introduce me to some courses.
Do you talk more trash on the court or on the golf course?
I don't know, probably the golf course. It's fun. Like it's just but like golf course talk is more friendly talk. Like I can talk trash on the basketball court, but that's like basketball is now my job. So that's a different kind of talk. You know what I mean, Kevin? But golf is just like you're out there with your friends. You got maybe some friendly wagers going on, some friendly talk. But it's cool. I like to I like to get out on the golf course, have a lot of fun. it's just real relaxing time.
All right, being from Fort Smith, native Arkansas, and the path you took, Joe Johnson Hawks organization and grassroots, Fort Smith Northside state championship, 2 years at Arkansas. Talk about the experience to what's gotten you to where you are now. Maybe a message for Hog fans, maybe something about your time with the Razorbacks, but just something as an acknowledgement to your Arkansas roots.
Man, I owe everything to Arkansas, man. Well, like you said, I was born and raised. Every team that I played on is from Arkansas. I want to start with my dad. He started me when I was young. As soon as I could walk, he had a basketball in my hand, so that's all we had in the house. So I want to start with him and play for the Arkansas Hawks AAU basketball team. They really did a really good job. Coach Bill, Miss Jackson, Coach Howard, my dad himself. They helped, kind of put my name out there, get the offer to Arkansas and just as much as AU basketball, I want to thank my high school team with Coach Eric Burnett. I think he's been a really good figure in my life, helping me on the court and as a person. And so I really do thank him for everything he's done for me, and all that led to playing for Arkansas. Had two amazing coaches and great coaching staffs, and Coach A and Coach Muss. I really love both of them to death, and I feel like they both played a big role in get me to this spot right here. Coach A is a nice family guy, so I really enjoyed conversation with him. I really enjoyed his coaching style. Coach Muzz, he's a go getter. He's an NBA style coach, and so I really feel like his coaching really complimented me and helped me get to the next level. And I think the 76ers are going to see everything that I've learned throughout my whole career.
Wow, well said. I'm assuming there's a reporter out there too that you might miss a little bit, but we won't get into that.
Oh
Zay,
man, actually, there's the one reporter. I can't remember his name. I think his name might be Kevin McPherson or something. Do you know that guy?
shouldn't be about me. I was trying to make a little bit of a funny there, but I do want to say this. I want to say this because you mentioned your dad and his involvement with the Hawks organization, helping players in the state get scholarships. His involvement goes beyond his own family, and it's one of the hardest working guys. I know you know this. He's been a great model for you, but you, you've called him the architect of that shot, and I just wanted to give him a shout out about that. And anything you want to add to that, because I like to tease him and call him the architect.
Yeah, man, my dad. It's funny because he's a great shooting coach, but he can't shoot a lick. He can't shoot at all himself, but he knows how to teach it, and he's done a really good job with teaching me and my younger brother Jacob. Like it's whenever I need help with my jump shot, I always go to him because he always has the answers. He's the one that's built it from the ground up, and so he definitely knows my shot just as well as I do. And I really thank him for that. He's put me in this position today where I can be called, one of the best shooters out there, and I'm really thankful for that.
Well, Zay, listen, I know you got a lot on your plate. We appreciate you taking time to join us here on Pig Trail Nation. Best of luck to you. We're not through with you, though. We're going to talk to you some more as things pick up. And thanks again.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. You have a good one, Kevin.